You made it easy for me. I was kind of nervous about this. I went, how do I say Meredith's last name, you know? And,
Foster.
well, there we go. Don't have to worry about it now. Meredith Foster with Tigerlili Resources. As you guys know, January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and a great organization right here in our community, Tigerlili Resources, friend of the show. How's everything been?
Things have been pretty incredible. We've had a lot of new developments and collaborations and exposure, which is awesome. So yeah, looking forward to sharing all of that with you guys today. We've got some good stuff.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, I'm nosy. I get little, sidetracked, and I, can't focus very well. And I'm seeing a white envelope in front of me. I got to ask you about that first, because when I see a white envelope, I think my little brain goes right back to what am I going to...
Sliding it under, okay, so it's not full of money.
Oh, okay.
but it is definitely priceless. Okay.
Awesome.
So, let me give a little bit of tidbit first so we can build into this, because it goes very hand in hand. Okay, so our organization, again, we are based out of Jersey County. We have been serving survivors of human trafficking since 2017. We opened a safe home in Jersey County in 2019. It is currently not operating at the moment, but it will be again very, very soon. We've got some things that we have to get in line. So that being said, we're taking the downtime of the home to really intentionally connect locally, and that's what this is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And now, so this seems like basically like a community network of some sorts, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've been up in the area for 2019.
Right.
And I have just very slowly just made personal connections throughout the community. But it's been really, really pressed on me. Okay, it's time. It's time to cast your nets and really connect. And more so for awareness, because people, especially in this area, they don't really want to or can comprehend the full capacity of what human trafficking is.
It's very true.
And they really think that it's a not here problem. Oh, it's over. It's in other countries. It might be in America, but it's definitely not here.
If it's not my own backyard, I don't,
Yeah. And being Awareness Month, I've been digging around on the news articles and things like that to find things. And it's amazing to me what the repetitive stories are. There's a lot of trafficking that happens in America, and what's being highlighted on the news is like one or two stories over and over and over again. And it has to do with influencers.
Right.
I don't even want to say his name because you can it's all over the place.
I am so glad that pizza box came in. I really am. I mean, I just have always hated the guy. I just never saw the luster for it. The guy's got a Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
It was very clear to see from the start of it. And they're talking to a guy that's 140 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. But the thing is, Meredith, people don't realize that St. Louis is a major hotbed for trafficking, and it's one of those where you might see an article and glance at it going, that was an endorsed article from such and such. No, it's a true thing.
Yeah, and it happens in St. Louis, of course, but it happens right here in Alton.
Does it?
Well, of course. It can be I don't want to call it simple.
Right.
But it can be as simple as a girlfriend-boyfriend situation, and the boyfriend is exploiting the girlfriend and either pimping her out for sexual favors or exploiting her himself. And so anything that is exploitive, fraudulent, manipulative, a practice of coercion, which is, again, manipulation, and dangling something over somebody, that's trafficking when you're exploiting the sexual act.
Now, I have a question, and this is something I just kind of thought of. Is the OnlyFans thing adding to that now?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was when you said that, to me, it wasn't necessarily going out on the street and quote-unquote pimping them out, but the subscribing thing.
Absolutely, yeah, and a lot of it starts online.
Got you. Okay.
It can start with the fans only. It can start with Snapchat. It can start with a gaming. And it just creates that anything that you can have a touch point to create a relationship with somebody. It can build from that, and it stems off of manipulation. It stems off of finding a vulnerability in anybody. I need a friend. My home life isn't the best. Any situation of trouble inside, the predator will find you and be like, hey, well, I'll be your friend. Hey, I've got a place where you can come stay. And it starts as a friendship, and it very quickly goes sour.
And for all the listeners who are maybe just reconnecting after our first conversation, what are some of the things that you provide for victims that you guys can see and kind of helping them transition through that, or at least get started with helping them get out of that tragic situation? What are some of those tactics?
Well, we're raising awareness in the hospitals at the moment. We have a project that is being vetted right now at Big Barns, and it is an observational tool when the emergency room nurses come in contact with somebody who could be a potential victim. They will do an observational series, and if they discover that this person fits kind of the mold, which there is no mold, and I'll get to that too. But if they fit the mold per se in the emergency room, then they'll take the next steps and get them connected with a social worker, a caseworker, and then get them plugged into the right services. We provide the safe home is for emergency short-term placement. So somebody who's coming straight out of a hospital or straight out of a police, jail situation,
right,
or coming from a different organization, and they need that really quick temporary landing pad to be safe, be comfortable, be fed very well, be loved very well. And then we help them find what is their next best long-term program that specifically deals with trauma.
That makes sense. And you honestly segued this perfect with what you just said, because the whole mold thing, because I'm sure just like everything else, it comes in different shapes, sizes.
Yeah.
There's no true, definition or stereotype of a human trafficker.
Right.
What's that kind of look like for you? What are you kind of leading in with that?
Okay, well, you said trafficker, so we'll look at one side, which is the seller, and then also the victim.
Okay,
so the victim side, very broad. So you really have to be able to connect dots in a scenario, and very much so go with your gut instinct. So a couple signs to look for visibly would be extreme exhaustion, tired, like looking like they're never
just
well
run
kept.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malnutrition, dressing inappropriately for a season, or dressing really promiscuously, having multiple cell phones, not having any cell phone, not being able to speak without getting the approval, the eye glance from somebody else to say, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and say that. Visible physical marks of abuse, visible marks of drug use. So a lot of times people would look at those as pieced markers,
right,
and maybe look at it as somebody who's an addict or somebody who's homeless. And that could be very well the case. But if you pull the whole story together, they could be a victim, they could be homeless, they could be an addict, they could be all of those things together.
Right.
So it's really broad.
Well, and that's a great point too, because there's all those aspects, but it could be they're an addict, they're homeless because of that outlying circumstance of being trafficked.
Right.
And now and to me, we just went over that kind of first step in those first markers. What are some of those other warning signs, some other things that you kind of seen in your experience that haven't really been talked about in the mainstream media?
Oh man. Well, they don't really talk about anything in the mainstream media. They talk about the trafficker.
Right.
Very rarely do they even talk about the victims.
Right. And that's a huge component. So when we go in terms of like victims and just support and outreach, why do you think there isn't really a lot of it seems like to me we focus too much on, like you said, talking about the trafficker, and almost making this like cult following for some of these people that, oh wow, they're persecuting this guy, instead of saying, here's the victim, here's what happened to them.
Right.
And then they're making the trafficker famous.
Right.
Why is that? Why do we not?
It's the shock value. It's the better story.
The rating.
Nobody wants to talk about the girl who was, completely wrecked over and over again. They don't want to hear that. That's not glamorous. But when you can get a high profile person on the news, then that's money, story.
That makes sense. And I know that you guys have had some issues in the past with keeping your message out there, because I know with social media you were getting flagged and some of the things. And I have to, because it's like, to me, I watched the damnedest thing. You told me this and I thought of immediately, a guy posted a video of, and I don't care what your stance is on this, of smoking pot and making his dog smoke it with him and blowing it in his face. And they're letting this thing stay out there. And all these, I'm reporting it 3 times. I'm like, this is obviously animal abuse. You can't do this to a dog.
Yeah.
They leave it up there, but you get taken down raising awareness for victims and their stories, and raising awareness for your guys' mission. How have you been able to adapt and navigate that?
It's gotten worse.
Really?
Yeah. We, on social media, I stay on the primary ones on purpose, even though the one that starts with an F kicked me off completely.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2021, they totally shut my page down, and I had to start fresh. So I lost, thousands of followers, and now we're starting all over. And to get them to come over to the new page, it takes time. So I started over in 2021, and I feel like now I'm starting over again for the third time because all of our social media we're not getting views. We're not showing up in news feeds. We have like a mass email campaign. All of a sudden, the last like 4 or 5 campaigns, they've all been getting dumped into spam, which our people, like they've signed up for them. They used to get them all the time. Our click rates went from like, 40, 50%, which on a mass email, that's a really good percentage.
It's a really great number.
And now the last 4 or 5 of them, we've gone down to like 9% of opens. So our end of year, which is usually like, that's the giving season. Our end of year was absolutely horrific. We did not pull in funding to start off this year very well at all. So we're really starting fresh. And I really had to start thinking outside of the box because we got so comfortable with the access to social media. Oh, we've got people at our fingertips until they say, no, you don't. So we've started we started a new platform that is more direct. So it's text to connect. So it's if you text the word Tigerlili, Tigerlili, no spaces, to 84576, that directly connects us together. So you text that, it sends you a link that says, hey, take a second, click on this link and give us your name, your email, your phone number. And then we're directly connected that way. We've seen that go really well so far. It's brand new, but it's going really well so far. And then this little white envelope, so your segue.
Yep. Hey, we tease it, right? It's a perfect story arc. We started with the envelope. We're working our way to the envelope. I know there's people watching this going, I just want to see what's in the damn envelope.
Right. Well, I'll open it. You won't be able to see it anyway. It's just letters.
Oh, that's
it's
okay.
descriptives.
No,
so
great.
There's 3 projects that we're working on as a grassroots collaboration on purpose with the community. So there's 3. The main element is all of these are part of Tigerlili. Okay. It's a way to get people connected to what the ministry is, the awareness of the issue. And if they want to get involved, awesome. If they don't want to get involved, this is a way that they can collaborate as well.
Got you.
So part 1 is called Kingdom Business Leaders.
Okay.
And it is kingdom-minded business owners, business leaders, people who want to start businesses that we can come together in a common area and just hash it with each other. Iron sharpens iron.
Right.
Get those good secrets out and then pull it together with like a biblical teaching of primarily going through a lot of Proverbs because that's the wisdom book.
Right.
So how do you incorporate wisdom into your business to make the best business version of you that you can while honoring the kingdom and growing it? So that's part 1.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
That's
We literally
cool.
just started getting the word
on.
out. So if you would like more information on joining in, we're going to be meeting in person on the 3rd Thursday of the month for like a breakfast get together. That's going to be our networking time. And then throughout the month, there's going to be other ways that we help promote your business and connect with other business people within the network.
Great.
So it's going to be really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
I'm excited to see it happen. And then inside of that, we have 2 other ministries or offerings that are going to be available through this.
Okay.
So you met Mama Cooper last time we were
she was
here.
awesome.
She is amazing. I want to be just like her when I grow up. She is 82 years old and nothing is stopping her. Okay?
No, that's for damn sure.
So she is starting a part of it, which is it's called the Healing Room.
Okay.
And it's for anybody who just really needs some connection, who's really just struggling through something in their life. They can come together and it's just a prayer team.
Wow.
And they come together and just create community that way. The other part of it, which has been on our back burner for a little while, waiting for the right person to come in and lead it, is Men of Valor.
Okay.
So Men of Valor was actually created as a sub-program within Tigerlili because men are actually 3 parts of the problem of trafficking. If you look at it, they're the buyer, the seller. Well, they're the 2 parts. There's 3 parts to it: buyer, seller, and victim. So they're 2 parts of the 3. Okay. And happy, whole people do not go out and do that to somebody else. Right. So there's something broken within.
Right.
So Men of Valor is a way for men to come together and just free the hearts of men. Gotcha. And it's really important in this arena with the business owners because if there's something wrong inside, they tend to lose a lot. They have their business to worry about, their family to worry about. If they're not on their A game,
Right. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, they
once
could
you
lose
get off
everything.
The flow, it's really,
Yeah.
it's bad. Not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
And, there's just so many. One of the biggest proponents to human trafficking is a broken family.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, and honestly, most of the crime issues stem from broken families.
And that's what I was just getting ready to say. It seems like a lot of this goes back to, what was it like growing up?
Mm-hmm.
What was the parental setting? What was the house like? Whether it's for this or any other thing, it seems like it all starts at home.
Yes, absolutely. So, and the man is to be the protector, provider, and head of the household. And if that man is broken, then there goes the household as well. A horrific stat, I guess. On average, in the United States, 40,000 men commit suicide every year.
Yeah, I knew that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
And to me, it's one of those where I think that gets forgotten about too sometimes, because we hear the horror stories of men doing terrible things like trafficking and stuff, but we don't look at the mental aspect of it too much either. So this is a great opportunity for that as well, huh?
Yeah. Yes. And so I just got married in September. And
Congratulations.
thank you very much. And my husband is going to be leading this.
Really cool.
Yes.
So how does that? Now I got to ask you: is this nerve-wracking for you to be working with your husband? Or you guys work well?
Oh, I'm so excited to do
Good.
this. This is absolutely like ministry minded, mission minded.
That's so cool.
And he brings a lot to the table with the program, because he lived through some pretty hellacious years through previous divorce. Feeling absolutely broken and alone, actually contemplating suicide. So he's lived through it, and he's on the other side of it now. So it's his turn to go back and reach back to men who are like, I don't even know what to do.
Right.
So, and a lot of times, men don't like to talk about it. They don't like to admit it. Like they're not supposed to. Well, this is your safe space that you can get with other guys who are really dealing with some serious stuff.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And so how can people reach out to be a part of any of this great stuff again?
Like I said, the best way is to text.
Right.
That way we're directly connected. So text the word Tigerlili, Tigerlili, to 84576. And then we'll get directly connected that way. We'll get you all the information that you need. We're shooting for our first Kingdom Business Leaders Networking meeting to happen on January 19th. It's a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in joining that, give a call, and we'd love to connect that way. But we're doing a very intentional connection locally, because we are about to be going nationally with the trafficking awareness. And throughout the country, we're going to be establishing what we call Tiger Pods.
Right.
So what we do here is going to be duplicated in other areas. We've got Indianapolis is first on board.
Now, they're a huge hotbed, aren't they, from what I heard?
Yes, they are. And actually, I didn't realize, because the stats change every year, I didn't realize my husband's actually from Ohio, and Ohio is number 4 in the country for trafficking, which I kind of didn't expect that when I saw it.
Who took number 1 this year? Because it flops every year. It's like 1 through 3 always just interchanges.
Nevada is usually always in the number 1. But yeah, Nevada was number 1 again.
That's what I was kind of, because it seems like St. Louis is always trailing in that little group, isn't it?
They haven't had the newest stat, but the most recent one, we went to number 8.
That's what I thought. I knew it was growing and kind of getting worse. And it's so great that we have organizations like you guys. And who are some of the other organizations that you collaborate with in the community to kind of help support your mission, or maybe help just, provide resource to that?
Yeah. We've reached out to, actually in Jerseyville, First Fruits.
Reached
out to them a lot. They're a very strict program. So sometimes our girls, they'll get in for a minute and they'll be like, I can't handle it. And then they go.
Well, you're right, though. They don't play around.
Yeah, they don't. And honestly, like, the proof is in the fruit. What happens at the end of their program is just astronomical.
Right.
So even if they don't last in the program, they get some really good nuggets, And that's the thing too. Like, a lot of the girls in the lifestyle, they pop in and out a few times. So it's not out of the norm to start at one program, come out, go to a different program, come out. We've worked with another home up in Peoria called the Esther House. So sweet. They really do really good work. We partner with another one in Kansas City, Greater Kansas City. It's Restoration House of Greater Kansas City. Amazing. They've actually expanded in the last couple of years, and they can take on more participants. But we intentionally partner with and seek out other faith-based, Christ-centered, trauma-focused homes and long-term homes.
Fantastic.
So, yeah,
that is so fantastic.
Well, and kind of to segue also, we are, because of starting nationally. Okay, I have a couple things to drop here. We started a podcast, and I think I talked about that last time. So it's called Traffic Stop, Real News Sex Trafficking. And it's getting out the realities of what human trafficking is in America specifically, because everybody on a whole looks at other countries. They don't look at America. So it's really shining the light on that. But in doing that, we're connecting intentionally with other services nationwide, because sometimes it's very important to get the girl totally out of the element, like get her far away. So we're reaching out that way, building the network that way. And then we're starting an online database of those services. So they will be specifically for trafficked victims only, trauma-informed, residential care, Christ-centered, and that have great track records. So there'll be direct referrals that we're building. So very, very excited about that. We've got a lot going on. So yeah.
That's incredible. And it's got to feel good after, going through some, peaks and valleys, it seems like, to really have this right in front of you. I mean, this is going to be a busy year for you, but a very beneficial one, it seems like.
Yeah, very much so.
And is there anything else that you want to get out before we let you go today? Is there anything, any more big news you're going to drop on us? This is great. It's fantastic to see an organization right here in your own backyard doing great things for something that's as serious as this.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's not. There's only so many, dogs you can save in the world.
Yeah.
But there's not very many people willing to throw their neck out and help a woman in distress that's being trafficked.
Well, most people would prefer to help a dog than they do, honestly, to help a woman in distress.
Well, and honestly, and it sucks to say, but even people in general. I mean, we don't like helping each other, but we'll help the tree that's getting ready to be cut down that's been there for 40 years, but we won't look. And it's great to have a community asset like this. So what else is there? Is there anything?
There's one more thing. In February is Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay, so it's February 12th, and the Super Bowl is the single largest event in the world that for human trafficking, like a single one-day event. It brings in the most human trafficking. This year it's going to be in Arizona, and that stadium holds, I want to say it was like 60,000 people, something like that. Annually, human trafficking in America between children and adults, there's over 200,000 people who are trafficked within America every year. So that's enough to fill that stadium 3 times over.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's wow.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. And it's a number that people can't wrap their brains around. But
No.
I hope when you put it in a perspective like that, you can kind of get a perspective. So this year, we're just being very, very intentional of building our people base, people who truly are just heartbroken over this, who really want to see an end to it. If that's you, please reach out to us. We are building our team, and we need you. It takes an army, and we're calling out the soldiers.
Absolutely. And by the way, you were right on at 63,000 capacity. Wow. That's incredible.
Fill it 3 times with victims. That's America.
Wow.
That should not happen in our country.
For more information, what's that text line again?
It is 84576, and text the word Tigerlili, Tigerlili.
And help Meredith and this great organization continue their mission and help so many in our community that are struggling, and help them get help, and help them want to get help too. I remember that being a big component of it last time. 9:51, Meredith, thank you so much for your time. On this 5th day of January, we'll take a quick break, and coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, Requiem Church, and we're going to be talking to Mark Magos too. That all happens right after this on our daily show.